Hello everybody, welcome to Race Department TV. My name is Paul Jeffrey. My shirt has flowers on them, and bolted to my rig I have a set of Heusinkveld Sim Pedal Sprint. Is it Heusinkveld? Is it Heusinkveld? Is it Heusinkveld? I don't know, so we'll call them HE Engineering from here on in. I've had these pedals about a month or so. I've tried them in a variety of different sims and different situations. And the idea behind this video is to give you a little flavour of my opinion from a sim racer who likes high-end hardware. So, without further ado, let's get under the hood and check out these pedals. The Heusinkveld Sim Pedal Sprint are the latest pedals from Heusinkveld Engineering. These came out just a couple of years ago or so and are the entry-level set of pedals from the well-regarded Dutch engineering company. Lower down the order than the Sim Pedals Ultimate and Pro, the Heusinkvelds are seen as an entry-level set of high-end pedals for sim racing. Now, as you can see, this particular set we've got on our rig comes complete with the HE Engineering base plate, but of course these can be mounted individually rather than on the provided base plate if your setup so requires. Also nice is the pedals are individually mountable, so you can position them either within the rig or on the base plate in any formation that you so wish, with movement forward, backwards and left and right. I've set these up with the brake and throttle a little bit closer than usual to aid with heel and toe, but also you can offset them from each other as well for this reason, and however you find useful for your size and your seating position. And with me and my massive feet, this has worked out really nicely. You can also adjust the angle of the pedal plate itself, and within the software for the Sim Pedal Sprint you can also change different braking curves, acceleration curves and various other different parameters to get the feeling that you so desire. This software is very useful that you can adjust it on a per car basis as well, and for different maps, like if you want a less responsive throttle in wet conditions. These are all things that you can configure within the software. I'll have to admit I found this a little bit over-facing, so I've spent very little time within the software, and I'm tending to use the pedals pretty much in stock setup from how they were when I first got them out of the box. In terms of the pedal themselves, you can add stronger or weaker brake and throttle and clutch. You can adjust the springs and the bushers within inside it to make it a stiffer or a lighter pedal feel to give you more or less travel depending on your preferences of how you like the feeling underfoot. I must admit I found the setup very satisfactory right from the very off. I may want a little bit more travel on the brake pedal for GT cars, but that can be easily adjusted if you so desire. I've decided against it for the purposes of this test, as I wanted to use the pedals in the format and configuration that most likely the majority of sim racers will use, and after it's taken a little bit of time for me to get used to the driving experience compared to previous sets of pedals I've had on my rig, I've now become very accustomed to it and very comfortable with it and really like the feeling underfoot. The clutch for me is weighted absolutely perfectly and feels brilliant. There's a nice resistance to the pedal. It returns to its original position in a really nice, firm, strong fashion. The throttle pedal perhaps is a little bit lighter than I would like it to be. This is something that I can accuse every set of pedals that I've used pretty much ever in the past. It's always a little bit lighter than I wanted it to be ideally, but still is very nice feel. And the brake is different to what I've used in the past. There's less travel in the default setup compared to what I'm used to. That took a little while to become accustomed to, so rather than using the travel of the pedal, it's actually the amount of force that I apply on the brake is what transfers to the sim. Once you become accustomed to that one, it's very intuitive, it's very comfortable to use, and it's aided me in getting around the circuit quite nicely. I've got full control over it and I can use it to control the car in a variety of different situations, so I'm really satisfied from that side of things. In terms of look, the Heusinkveld Sim Pedal Sprint are a very attractive, minimalistic, neat looking piece of hardware. Looks very nice, especially with the HE branded pedal plate on my rig. Everything's sensible from where the cabling goes and how it's hidden away from view, so I'm really happy with the look and feel of the pedals, and during the time that I've used it I've had no squeaks or bangs or creaks coming from them, so I'm really satisfied with how they've worked out over a sustained period of time using them on the rig. Size wise, the pedals use a lot less space than some other units in which I've had bolted onto the rig in recent months. They're a discreet, compact setup and process. Really like how they sit within the rig. The adjustability makes it ergonomically comfortable for however you've got your racing setup configured, and for also people's individual sizes, heights, size of foot, how they wish to use the pedals. We're using the 3 pedal set inclusive of the clutch, but you can also buy them as a 2 pedal set with a throttle and a brake. I think they look really nice. The colour scheme is understated, the finish is absolutely perfect, the hardware in strong materials, and look really strong on the racing rig. Very satisfied with that side of things. I found the software and the pedals are compatible with all the current and a few of the historic racing simulations on the marketplace today. They're a very mainstream set of high-end pedals now. The Heusinkveld Sim Pedal Sprint are an incredibly popular option for modern sim racers, and as such a lot of information about settings, configurations, how to attach them to your rig is known and out there on the internet at various different locations, so you're never going to struggle to find somebody who's got a similar configuration to yourself if you're having trouble just maximising that final percentage of information and tuning and setup that you need for your particular configuration, which is really helpful because when you get to this high-end level of hardware, often it can become increasingly difficult to find people in a similar situation to yourself, and you find yourselves in the dark a little bit trying to work through getting the best settings possible. But this has not been an issue with the HE Sprints, and the team over at Heusinkveld themselves are incredibly friendly and open and willing to chat. So again, you're very much not on your own on this ownership journey, which is really nice. It's a nice safety net comfort to know that you've got that level of support and guidance open to you should you need it. And there we have it, guys. That has been the review of the Heusinkveld Sim Pedal Sprint. Really enjoyed my time with these pedals. I think they're a very attractive looking piece of kit, really well built, nice materials. They fit really nice onto my rig and into my ergonomic position that I have running on this here RaceDepartment rig setup. I like the adjustability from the hardware point of view. I like the adjustability from the software point of view as well. And of course, they're a reasonable price compared to some of the pedals within the marketplace. Downsides actually is the adjustability. I think that could be phasing for some people. It's quite awkward to change the springs and the rubbers to get a different feel depending on what kind of car that you want. But these are things that affect some people more or less than others, and your own mileage will of course vary. But I hope you found this video interesting, informative, and hopefully a little bit useful. And if you can, please do give us a like and a subscribe on our YouTube channel. That would be amazing. You can also catch our live broadcasts on Twitch, and of course we're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and at RaceDepartment.com. So until next time, I will wish you all a very wonderful rest of your day, week, month and year. And until next time, see you later. Ta-ra.